Hello, welcome everyone, welcome. We're going to be continuing to play Powerwash today. Should be a good time. Primarily looking to keep it relaxed, keep it easy this week. Probably going to continue that into the next week. You know, it's good to be healthy again. Or at least baseline healthy. But yeah, let's check in with the kitties real quick. Sky and Ember get over there at the food area. Sky picking out the last few kibbles. I try to periodically top it up, but also need to make sure it's staggered out. I want to make sure that they get food when they're hungry, but that I don't leave out so much that the chow hounds eat too much. Molly and Sherbet will trot right over to the food dishes every time you put food in them, so. Sherbet stays relatively lean, but Molly is packing it on. She's already she's a bulky cat. There are a lot of them that will have almost like a shoebox or a kind of football form by default, even without a lot of body fat. Molly is in that category, and she's getting pudgy on top of it, so. Yeah, we have Mason and Sammy on the bed. New water fountain for them there. Need to put a different mat under it since it does get a little splash. It's a very shallow dish. Makes it easy for cats to drink from it. But because of that, it does splash a little bit, and it will kind of drip down the edge and get under it. Putting a lipped mat under it, an additional layer of lipped mat, will make it easier to clean it up periodically, because you don't want like standing water to get under things. It can get kind of rancid. But yeah, let's pop back in here. And see how far we can get towards finishing our Adventure Time playthrough. If we do have some time left, might start some of the post-game content of the base game. See from there. Let's see. There you are. I was beginning to worry that you had been kidnapped by the Ice King. Just when we had some cleaning jobs for you. We were hauled over to his place to clean up the mess there. First, Lemon Grab turned up in a particularly sour mood, demanding we clean his carriage. Lemon Grab is one of her creations. She actually created somebody that they're sort of the next in line as far as the royal authority. Hey there, Levi. Good to see you again. Looks like you got a new icon. Well, welcome, welcome. Embers on my shoulder. Autocorrect is amongst the many reasons that I don't trust the hype around large language models. Oh, and thanks for joining again. I appreciate it, Levi. I appreciate it. You've been a member for 29 months. That's also an indication of time passing. Oof. And I'm back to my regular coughing, so there will still periodically be coughing. Then one of our candy helicopters deployed to investigate a flock of flying demonic threats heading for the grasslands returned drenched in ectoplasmic goo and some quite alarming incantation sigils. Which reminds me, did we make you some hazmat? Actually, don't worry, I'm sure it'll be fine. Hey there, Key. I am down for being healthy again. Have to remember doing stuff like getting up, doing some light exercise, that kind of thing. It does help a lot. It does help a lot. Within reason, the whole lungs thing, well, that seems to just be a bonus for growing older. All right, so we have Lemon Grab's carriage and the helicopter. So I believe I was accurate. This is the ectoplasm associated with Marceline's father. A ruler of hell style creature. Lemon Grab being an increasingly disturbing character. First introduced as, I believe, as a... What would it be? What's it called? The role that a person takes when they're standing in for a role of authority when the actual holder of it is too young. There's a word for it, but I don't recall. Regent. There we go. He stepped in when Bubblegum managed to like de-age herself. She still had her full mind, but was slightly influenced by being young. Was influenced by being younger. And by the laws that she wrote, Lemon Grab became in charge during that. Ultimately, to get rid of him, I believe they gave him further control of another kingdom. Largely just a go over there, you can be in charge over there. If I recall, he essentially started creating clones of himself and became a violent dictator that would periodically, like, eat his clones. So yeah, Lemon Grab's messed up and is amongst the this is very creepy aspects of Adventure Time. This is Candy Pilot Guy. Do you receive? Over? Loud and clear, Candy Pilot Guy. Proceed. Over. Hey, Schmuggums. Welcome, welcome. Might be apparent we are operational again. Twice in a row. quite filthy. I mentioned last time, I do like this series. There's some really, like, good elements to it, but it takes a bit to get going, and it also has a whole lot of kind of dead space if what you're looking for is the heavier content. Which is fine. It's not like it's pretending to be purely serious. Quite the opposite. But it's one of those, like, I recommend people watch it with an asterisk, you know? Especially the early seasons. Oh, lemon grab. Ever dear lemon sweets, my son was slimed. He's infected. He must be cleaned. Freshen him. Wipe him clean. The impurity of my progeny is unacceptable. I'm not going to try his unacceptable. That is a very, very particular shriek that he does. And none of us need to be subjected to that. Miscreant removed from Candy airspace. Over. Very good, Candy pilot guy. One question, though. How do you know this? I must have missed a line. It's just, you've been locked in that bathroom for 10 minutes now, and your helicopter is sat right here, covered in gunk. Over. The bathroom window is open, and I saw them leave from here. Over. Lemon grab is definitely one of those that points out some of the creepy elements of the setting, both in what he does, but additionally, there is a point at which he calls Bubblegum out that effectively she made him this way. Like, she made him the way he is. Now, did she necessarily set out to make the monster that he became? Not likely, but she did. She has a habit of creating life that doesn't work out the way she wants it to, you know? One point she makes a creature called a sphinx, and it has vague elements of sphinx about it, let's say. The ornament on the top of the carriage is shaped like Lemon Grab's head. Wait a minute. There's a lip over here we can use to climb up. There was a prompt around this somewhere, but I guess not. Really thought there was a prompt around. Okay. Dirt left under the nose. So that weird little smiley face there is the summoning circle that is used to summon Marceline's dad. Likely presented here as some sort of basic demonic summoning sigil. Can believe it. I have actually had a person that came in and backseated in this game a little bit. They were seemingly upset that I wasn't, like, using different nozzles for things. Condition of my carriage is unacceptable. Once again, if you want to hear him say unacceptable, look it up. It is a very particular shriek. Kind of his signature thing as far as a call-out, kind of his catchphrase sort of thing. Candy people must learn respect. Respect. Must give way to my early procession. Was wondering if you could. So those were presented as that kind of seat. We got a bunch of like narrative games queued up. We got a bunch of like deduction games, all kinds of goodies. Bigger project I want to do for the near future. Been very furtively working on it, but I've got all the bits now. Got all the bits needed to progress. Well, to progress to the next step. Still a bit of programming I need to do for it. Gonna be a neat thing for the street. The splotches here, the kind of cream colored splotches, indicate that this was likely used as a summoning circle. I believe part of it, in addition to the drawing, is like hitting it with rotten milk. Adventure Time, like, the setting is strange, but not frequently. It's consistent, more consistent than you would think in places. Slime Princess must also be punished. For slimes against lemon kind, punish her. She slimed my carriage for no reason. No reason. Treason. The standard unit of authority in Adventure Time is a princess. There are various of them. Slime Princess being one of them. Like, cartoonish slime blob creature. Another notable one is, I believe it's just Hot Dog Princess. She is a hot dog shaped like a dog. Or at least with dog features. The people of her kingdom are like living hot dogs. And they are really stupid. Though, to be fair, there aren't a lot of, like, populations in Adventure Time that are the brightest crayons, you know? Excuse me, but Lemon Grab is way off. Here's what actually happened. I was on my way to a party at Finn and Jake's treehouse when some candy people when this carriage pulls up. Be interesting to see what other little references they pop in. And they got the sludge everywhere. Lemon Grab shows up out of nowhere, demanding we let him through. At first, the candy people thought he was joking and playing a game. It is fun when you get to when they have the DLCs that have a different art style. SpongeBob one made some changes. This one, I feel like it leans into it even further. Hit everything we can reach from below here so that when we finally climb up, there's less to miss, you know? But the more they laughed and danced around his carriage and rocked it from side to side, the madder and ruder Lemon Grab became. That's when they started to throw things at his carriage. And then he got ruder, so they threw more. Gotta love it when it's rapid fire like that. They very frequently have you go inside vehicles and buildings and whatnot with the pressure washer, and it's just the damage that you would do to some of these surfaces. can find space to work with here. Okay. Yep. Come on now. Yep, yep. Got them all to leave eventually and tried to calm him down, but he shouted things at me that I wouldn't even repeat to my own sister. Now, I understand his frustrations, but when you run your mouth like that, there has to be consequences, especially when you're an earl. I agree. Case dismissed. Lemongrab has left the chat. It's got sprinkles. It is explicitly a sprinkle, a helicopter roof sprinkle. Powerwash parkour. Yes, you can use ladders and scissor lifts and all kinds of stuff like that, but it's also fun to, like, scramble up the buildings without using them whenever you can. howling icing. Cabin wall, one of the rotors. Helicopter cabin tactical candy cane. They'll find it fun to see these play through. Hey, RCC, you might want to head over to the party at Finn and Jake's treehouse. Party God showed up, promising a rager. Also, Finn and Jake said you can come as my +1. Don't forget that washer of yours. Things are getting kind of slimy over here. Wink. Okay, ew, coming from Slime Princess. Implications. Wow. Sorry, dude. Party's over. Who am I kidding? Treehouse covered from roof to tip in unholy muck. It's RCC party time. Been looking forward to this washdown ever since Party God turned up with a giant punch-filled piñata. Just you and me, though, so I've had to lock Finn inside. He's way overstimulated and needs a nap. Oh, we've got the little swing lift thing. Those blades of grass are really inconvenient. Thing all sudsy. M and PB, Marceline, and no, it's not. That's PB. Oh yeah, Princess Bubblegum. Yeah, they have a complicated relationship. Can you turn down that soothing washing sound? Some of us are trying to stay awake in here. Give into it, dude. Let the sleep take you. No way. If you're awake, if you're awake, we're awake. Isn't that right, Pino? Bimo is sleeping. It seems like it's pretty forgiving about coverage in this area because of the grass fronds. Or whatever they actually are. Mentioned it before, but the mechanic seems to be that the soap goes over top of the dirt and makes it effectively like zero durability. So then, pretty much regardless of the strength of the water that you blast over it, it will remove it. But the soap will stay over it even if the you get the sufficiently cleaned auto clear effect. But you want to remove the soap because you can only have so much soap texture in the world. There we go. Looks like it eventually fades off. Okay, yeah, no, it'll fade off of it. That's right, because if the dirt ceases to be under it, the soap will fade. Look at me being all wrong. Oh yeah, you should probably get rid of that portal to the Nitosphere. The Nitosphere being Adventure Time Hell. I mean, it's probably fine, but if Finn starts chucking bug milk around again, it could cause issues. That's right, it's not spoiled milk, it's bug milk. Unclear if better. Soap is fun, but this is clearly one of those scenarios of kind of 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Still fun to use the soap. It would be kind of funny if they actually made the soap foam have a 3D effect to it. Build up a giant pile of bubbles. At least we don't have to clean the entire lawn. And to clear these things rapid fire is a benefit of the soap. Sweet, sweet dopamine hit, you know? Hey there, Captain Horse. We are rewarded in rapid succession. There was a bug party? No way. Would have shown them how it's done. Somewhat a reference. There is a sequence where Jake was supposed to stay on target, get something done. And one of the many things that distracts him is a little bug dance party out in front of the house, in which he shrinks down in which to dance with them. Missed one. Hey there, Tess. Can't be having dirty mushrooms. It's not the done thing. Lot of ground to cover on this one. I like how they've got some sort of shader at work here to create the black outlines, even on the dirt textures. Show GPU driver for NVIDIA to pass IOCTL calls from guest to VM. Gave up on that for time being. I mean, writing drivers has got to be involved. Try to avoid that level of code wherever possible, though that said, I have, I guess, for my sins, decided that I need to write a whole bunch of my game logic on shaders. Haven't heard it called that, but that's really accurate. Code home syndrome. It has left my brain. It lives in the same territory as sunk cost fallacy. There's actually, like, sunk cost fallacy is the fallacy name for an actual term. Like, it had a name before we started calling it sunk cost fallacy. Which I did not know until a footnote in a book that I was listening to on audio. Yes, Concord fallacy. Thank you. And when I first heard that it was called Concord fallacy, or Concord, I just loved it because as of now, we have the idea of the game Concord, where they should have known that they were going down a bad direction, but they just kept barreling ahead. They just wouldn't let it go. Yeah, apparently Capcom has had some just amazing wins lately. Okay. And trying to cover as much ground as possible by just climbing on things. I find it more fun. The scissor lift, and I can't remember what it's called, but you have the little swing thing that you can use. They're neat, but for the most part, it's still, I don't want to use them until I have to. Come on, Tass. I'm sure he's made a very, authentic apology for whatever it is he did last. Wow. It's going to be a whole hassle to clean. Canon and D is so good. Saw a video of Canon and D in piano where the gimmick was as they continued playing it, it was referred to as but it gets jazzier as it goes along, and they would add more and more jazz piano kind of patterns to it. I feel like this music is generally a good fit for Powerwash Simulator as well. Though comically it works for everything. Either through cognitive dissonance or by direct mood match. Continuing to use the look a squirrel method of clearing the map. trident continuing to be a, okay, I've had enough of your nonsense nozzle. Yeah, they're real forgiving about the areas near the big leaves here. Freak. The tree house is much more of a house in a tree kind of vibe. Gotta admit, Jake, that might have been the best party ever. Hey, dude, Party God took it to the next level. One would hope when your divine domain and your name include party that you'd better be good at it. So that would be an interesting setting gimmick, is that usually in like fantasy pantheons, the god of such and such has absolute control and power over the thing that is their domain. There are some instances in like old D&D editions, but to have a god of something that's just really bad at it. Like, yeah, it's their domain, but it's kind of they've been put in charge of it, not that they actually are suited to the role. least, you know, somebody had to be the god of fire. The priesthood of that particular god play the Mysterious Ways card constantly. Get real defensive when they have to get together at the, you know, parties with all the other priests. Everybody else doing miracles. They're trying to do, like, close-up magic, you know? And yes, I am standing right next to the scissor lift that they intend you to use for this part. Not until I have to. Already had a very particular blast radius. They said, hey, you got to stay out of the backyard, and they, you know, everybody stuck to it. They were a good guess. I appreciate they make some of the maps in this real big. Like, you get that mix. You have the small, like, hey, just wash a car ones. You have things like this where you're crawling all over a building. The soap, if nothing else, effectively highlights the dirt for you. Like, you can find it by pinging like that, but... it's a repeated button press. That gives us some confirmation. The green slime is Slime Princess, though we did see green slime at Ice Kings, too. With, I don't recall any indication that she was there. And yeah, since this is DLC, probably overthinking it. But that said, you know, Powerwash has a plot. And it's involved enough that speculating about it makes sense, you know? It's going to be an interesting time lapse. Rid of as much lingering soap as we can so that we can use it in the next area. Kind of surprised that all those demons didn't get on, though, dude. You'd think they'd all have something in common, but their small talk was painful. Huh. See footprints through the muck. Slowly, slowly. We're only about a third of the way through this level. So easy to just zone out playing this. It really is. Hey there, Lunar. Yeah, they added an Adventure Time DLC, so I figured I'd pop back in. And in loading it up, I saw that they added some more content as well on just into the base game, so we'll look at some of that too eventually. How you been, Lunar? Marceline, you dinguses, I tried to warn you. James Baxter hadn't turned up on his beach ball, we'd all be in the astral plane by now. I don't recall that character. James Baxter. I recall that was just a horse that was doing the little, like, circus animal ride the beach ball. Yeah, James Baxter is so good in those situations, dude. As far as when did he show up, I don't recall. Like, in the show. Slowly. Oh, wow. This bit away. Yay. Be able to get all of these from up here, but as per usual, as much as we can. It is fun when you can, at least I like being able to break the things into smaller and smaller rectangles and clear them out, you know? Quote-unquote rectangles. Angle and precision, we'll make that kind of a fuzzy term. Nice. Hit the keep firing button. Auto fire is one of those things that's easy to accidentally press and easy to forget to press. not so much that I'm focused, it's just that I'm just experiencing the game, you know? Serving its purpose. It's fun and relaxing. Okay. Almost at 50%. Or the overall narrative of what's going on just seems to be, we had us a bunch of parties. Which, I mean, for the purposes of, you know, power wash cleaning things, that is a viable excuse. And then things got really out of control, sort of narrative. Thanks for swinging through, Captain Horse. Have a good night. There is a... can't remember what it's called. I didn't think it had a very complicated name. But there is a card game at one point. It gets a couple of episodes, like once, and then it kind of shows up again. That Jake plays, and apparently he can't find anybody to play with him because he gets hyper competitive about it. And it's one of those that looks interesting. It's when he's playing it, it has the vibe of the first season of the Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon, where the rules are just kind of all over the place. But somebody sat down and based on everything they could find in the couple of episodes the show appears, or the game appears in, they tried to recreate like what they could see in the game, as well as, make it viably playable. Did it turn out to be a fun game? I have no idea, but it was an interesting endeavor. We are managing to cover a lot of ground without using any of the tools aside from the ladder a couple of times so far. I wonder if anybody's done a tool-assisted speedrun of this, and most relevantly, if in doing so they've discovered some crazy way that the physics of the game breaks. The sort of, if you glitch yourself into this spot, it puts you behind the map, and hitting something with any amount of water from underneath the texture counts as being right next to it, kind of thing. So as for ones I like to watch, I prefer the glitchless tool-assisted speedruns. There's something about the, incredibly precise movement. Whether they include, goofy motion that doesn't really change anything because it's you have to be waiting for this to finish kind of stuff. With or without that, those tend to be interesting to watch. Because you get that, it's always frame perfect movement. More than halfway. Boy, there is just a lot of ground on this one. Trident is very awkward to use when you're up close. Frozen over. Big bite marks in there. Sudsy. Oof. Sudsy bit out of there, so we actually make use of the time we spent using the soap. You think the deal was with Gunter and Party God? Okay, well, Gunter and Party God again. Is schmoozing him all night. Final Fantasy XIV showing off changes that they're planning on making in the next expansion, which look really good. And I'm very interested in trying them. But that creates the scenario where it's like it has reduced my interest in playing until then. Because a lot of what they changed is pretty much a grocery list of stuff that Tass and I have talked about in the game. If we had our way, these are the things we would change about it kind of stuff. Joking around, Tass saying that makes you feel like Discord has been bugged. Exterior portions seem a little less generous as far as being segmented. Rapidly reaching maximum ground targetable range. Switch up. We'll go over to the ground here. We've been at this map for quite a bit. the suds. Game that really weaponizes the sound of, like, rain on the exterior of a building. Does pair very nicely with calm music. %. This one. There we go. Yeah, I think we've got most of the ground, but no, clearly not. Okay. It's still fun how the variety of crossovers they've had in Powerwash. Tomb Raider was lightweight, but we've had everything from like 40K to SpongeBob. All of them with comparable effort, except for Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider one largely felt phoned in. There was a Final Fantasy VII one. That one was fun. Tree trunks. Those are from the party wolf. When I tickled him behind the ear, this laser beam shot straight out of his mouth. Tree trunks, you're one spicy old lady. Tree trunks is a tiny little elephant that has, for the most part, a real, like, friendly little old lady vibe. He gets a couple of storylines, one of which is quite horrifying, in which she takes a bite of a crystal apple and becomes transformed into kind of a otherworldly entity. So there's a YouTube series, Nigel and Marmalade. And it really does have some of the same vibe as this Nigel and Marmalade, tending towards some really gruesome imagery on the regular. But it's that, like, strange and consistent world. Like, things are weird, but that's how it works in this world. And not in a, like, Golden Silver Age comics way. Yesterday, it's a lot of narrative and world building is effectively promises. You say it works a particular way, and you demonstrate it works that way. And then it's, if it keeps working that way, you're keeping the promise. If suddenly it very much doesn't work that way, and you don't properly justify it, then you have a problem. Then you have, like, a legitimate flaw in your world building. Will it entirely ruin your narrative? No. And as much as people malign it, a retroactive continuity situation where, like, as of right now, that thing didn't really happen that way, can be useful. Sometimes you can't really talk your way out of a problem that you created earlier. And so what you'll get is a, let's all just kind of ignore that happened, agreement between the author and the audience. And that can work. That can work as well, but that is a strain on that trust relationship. Is, okay, you got away with it this time, kind of thing. He was trying to get a wish. I think he was trying to get a wish out of him, referring to Gunter interacting with the party god. Party god was about to grant it, too, till Tree Trunks turned up and put the moves on him. Kind of at the edge of what the little swing seat can reach at the moment. At the angles we've got. Only a very fine range on that one. Just hovering in the air there. Hello, Ember. Become kind of a pattern of hers, as I'll hear her playing or, trying to kill the TV birds for a bit, and then she will trot over and sit on my shoulder for a little bit. The mighty huntress needs to cool down a little bit. Yeah, I know. Less talking, more petting. Switch petting hand, move game slightly. One of the episodes they are called because of this bridge. They introduced just a weird concept where it's raining knives. And it seems that that's a thing that just kind of happens, you know? It's a thing we have to deal with. And I think that can be a fun element of world building as well, you don't want to overdo it. Because past a point, it's that it feels like you're just layering on trying to be unique. But because an owl house had that, the Boiling Isles were named relatively aptly because the ocean and the rain are scalding. Like it is effectively lethal to submerge yourself in the ocean or to go out in the rain. Now, do they go into depth about it? Not really, but it does create an interesting ecology to deal with. Because now it's anything that can't take cover in that world needs to be real resilient. go, Sammy. Double cat. Our goal tonight then is to finish this map. I don't know how much that will leave us with after this, as far as the game is, this content is concerned. But you know, worst case, we have another stream that will include some of the base game content to wrap it up. We'll go from there, but oh boy, this has been a big map. No, you don't touch the cables, Sammy. Stretchy sound. Treehouse job, reach max height on the Jake scissor lift. Holding still in a precise fashion so that, oh no, I shifted too much. Amber noticed. We're actually getting some good use out of the swing. Boys, you know how rude it is to tattle. I was just trying to give him a piece of my apple pie, that's all. Innuendo. I'm hungry, and you know I always cook extra. Tree Trunks is initially introduced in that she is a cute little old lady elephant, a tiny little elephant creature that likes to bake apple pie in her little orchard in the middle of the woods. Oop. Was hoping to get away with hopping over there. 91%. Number, go up. Easy enough to spot when I'm using the auto fire. since rotating your field of view is move the nozzle to the edge. Sammy has noticed the screen. There we go. It's hello, Sammy. Yeah. There's another place I can put this. Not for that purpose. It's the angle we've got. Limited mobility because now I have Sammy on my left shoulder, which is far more disruptive than Ember on my right. maybe here? Yep. Oof. Tammy. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be the best way to get to that one. Being very clingy, ma'am. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Come here. East branch and the mystery tower. You can see it there. Tower leaves and branch. For there. Oh, wow. Wow. Jeez. No one is involved. Congratulations, Finn and Jake have finally given me their blessing to grant you my royal seal of approval. Let's get you back to the Candy Kingdom. There's a highly toxic experiment that I've been wanting to conduct for some time now, and it will get messy. And that was it. That was the end of the Adventure Time one. That was just them tailing into, essentially, and now I'm going to have you wander around in my labs. Very nice, very nice. Yep, that button and that button. Good times, folks, good times. That does mean next time we fire up Powerwash, it will be the post-game content, the Caldera Chronicles, or whatever it's called here. Yes, Caldera Chronicles. So we'll see about that, but the next game that we schedule will likely end up being something completely different then. I've got a pile of them that I need to get through, so I'll rummage around and pick one out. It'll be a surprise. But with all that said, folks, I hope you had a good time watching with us today. If you like what you saw and would like to see more, remember to like, follow, subscribe, comment. All of that stuff helps the channel grow. And with that, I hope the rest of your day is good, and I'll see you next time.